When do we talk about the fucking shows and movies? Thanks for the F shot.
I don't know, but these arms are feeling Jesus chewed up.
Show me what you got.
We'll drink it if you say. Hey everybody, welcome back to Wasted Opinions. We've been on hiatus for a while, and this episode we're just going to be talking about everything we've been playing during the hiatus, whether it's old stuff or new stuff, but whatever games we've been playing and enjoying.
Oh.
But I am LewisLightning, and thanks to a hitch in the prosecution's case, I have with me...
I'm CountryBoy, guys. CountryBoy.
And I thought it was better when they called it the coronavirus. MussKeg.
Instead of the Rona?
Well, instead of COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was way better when it was coronavirus.
Yeah, people were scared of drinking Coronas. They were idiots.
Yeah, Corona's gross anyways. So.
I mean, yeah, why would you drink
Unless
it?
you're looking to sponsor us, Corona.
Hey, we'll drink it if you send it.
They took out that stop on it.
That's our motto.
That's our motto.
We'll drink it if you send it.
Arsenic, down the hatch.
Clorox sends us some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we doing our shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do some shots. This is raspberry.
Raspberry. Blue raspberry, it looks like. Alright. Mmm.
Better. Yeah, better.
Still has a little bit of like...
That's just as good.
It's not bad. Price is right.
Where do we start?
Okay.
So yeah, just like really anything the last like 2 years, I think.
I've got one that I got in the chamber, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Just as I probably
I'm
have
gonna
less
have to
than
go
you
and
guys.
just take a look.
One of the games that I played over the pandemic, which I was surprised how much I was going to like, I know you both already played it, was Days Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised how much I liked that game.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate liking it that much. There were so many little things that I thought were neat, like, you know, having to make sure you had fuel for your bike. You couldn't just drive everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked the combat. You could do it in stealthy or you could not, and sometimes it would work out where it's best to start stealthy and then not. The dealing with hordes and setting traps and everything like that.
Yeah,
which
that's the
were
best part. The
intense.
hordes was the best part of the whole game.
My favorite horde was the lumber mill one.
Oh, 100%.
It was
Yeah,
the hardest
it's a
one.
huge
The hardest
one.
one, yeah. But the first horde was actually the hardest one for me because I just was figuring out how to deal with them.
I made it so much.
I stumbled across it accidentally.
I
Actually.
made it so much harder on myself because I was basically just trying to do story because I was like, I got so many games and trying to get story.
Yeah.
So then when I got to the lumber mill, I was not like equipped with all of the explosives that I needed. And I was like, I got through like half of the horde. I'm like, okay, now what do? I have nothing left.
Like when
I ran away. Stocked up, I got more stuff, built a bunch of stuff, came back, and the horde was still at least half.
Or you're like doing one of the things and you forget that there was an alarm here and it would go off and you're like, oh no,
yeah, you're trying to get sneaky and you're like, oh fuck, this one saw me.
Yeah, and
it totally sets it off.
And even when it took the turn, I would say, I don't want to say halfway through, but like at the 2/3 mark, 3/4 mark when you're in the military.
When you go through the mountains?
When you go through the mountains in the military.
Yeah.
You'd think that was not good, but it still kept things kind of fresh and there was new stuff going on. So I was surprised how much I actually liked the characters. I didn't think I was going to like the characters that much, but so yeah, I thought it was a great game. Very good for the pandemic.
I'm glad you picked it up.
It was free.
Keeping on that ball of stuff that we've kind of all played, Ghost of Tsushima, I hadn't played that. I know CountryBoy played it before, and then I was kind of slow to getting on board, and since then I know you've gotten on board.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a pandemic play. It was this year, but...
Yeah, have you finished?
Oh, yeah.
Finished
it was before today, so it's...
Before today, basically.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, so like, that game, originally I was so kind of apprehensive, because at one of the E3s, or maybe it was, what's the other one, the other show they have? Game Awards?
Game Awards?
Yeah, that they had like this one where the guy plays that flute.
That was E3, yeah.
And they show a fight with him and some woman in this like cherry blossom area or whatever.
It looked gorgeous as hell.
It looked gorgeous, but the combat seemed so slow.
But you couldn't translate that from watching it, right?
Well, yeah, but I thought, to me, it gave me the impression it was more like Sekiro, and I was like, I'm not really into that, so I didn't get it, and you got it.
Yeah.
And I watched
It was your
play.
game of the year, wasn't it?
It was that year? I'm trying to think. That was 2 years ago? It might have been. It's definitely, combat-wise, my favorite game for combat in probably any game. I think it's my favorite combat.
I agree, I liked it. I found the combat, if I'm being honest, I thought it got easy. Pretty early on. Like, I felt like it was easy to do. And so most of the time it was more fun for me to keep trying to do the stealthy stuff. I also didn't like I wish they had a quick change for your armor and everything like that.
Oh.
Because I found I would have used the armor more if it was easier to change
swap.
around.
Oh yeah,
Instead of like having to change in the menu and everything like that.
I know my brother's got it as well. He's been playing it, but with like the Japanese language, like
in black and white too.
yeah, and some
really?
not black and white.
Oh,
Beautiful
with
game.
subtitles.
Like absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like Japan is a great setting.
Yeah.
And like he's been playing it like when he's at my mom's, and she's like watching it like a movie. She really likes the story of it.
I know even the guy that made the Yakuza games, he stated himself, he's like, wow, this is an American made game. He's completely jealous that they didn't make this game.
They made a game about Japan better than
they
Japanese have been making.
The only complaint I had was I kind of came in after the Iki Island stuff game, and I went to Iki Island way too early from my perspective.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was like the expansion.
Maybe that's why it was so easy, because you had like this great armor, and you were like all upgraded.
I'm being honest, that's probably the thing I didn't like, was I went to
Yeah.
Iki Island, and I did Iki Island, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know.
I guess I don't have to mention Iki Island now, because we mentioned it. That was one of the things. No, it was good. We're banging things out, because that was one of the things I was going to say, so now I don't have to.
Banging it out like a diamond.
I was going to say one last thing is that there also talks to make a movie about this.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
No, spoiler alert, but I got to be honest with you. I was expecting through the whole game for there to be this huge plot twist that you actually died when you fell off the bridge, and you were just you were actually
a ghost.
I really was. I was expecting that.
Oh, okay.
So the whole game, I'm like, when the fuck is this twist
I
gonna
figured
happen?
if that would have happened, then it should have been more mystical.
I've actually kept it downloaded because I really want to play the multiplayer still. I really want to try the multiplayer.
It is good.
And I also haven't done any of like the, there was like, where you would like buy gear from people. There was also people that were like, they had missions and stuff like that. I haven't done any of those missions yet.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called specifically, but there's a person you can go up to and
like the Legends?
The Legends or something like that, yeah. So.
Yeah. So I'll get to the next one here. This is one that I know just myself and MussKeg have played. It's a game that came out I think 2015, and we didn't play it then. I know I tried it for like an hour one time, hated it. I didn't want to play it ever again. And then I saw people online playing it, and then there was actually like a multiplayer component to it. I was like, oh wait, maybe I'll try this game. It's because I love the atmosphere and everything, but Bloodborne is the game. Yeah. The atmosphere is so dark and twisted and is
the great Gothic was like such a cool setting.
Horror. Yeah. It was wicked. I've never played a game that looked like this and like felt like oily and.
Can you imagine that game on New Age on like a new like developed for like I guess the next Bloodborne if you.
Yeah, I wish they would do a sequel or at least
sure they will.
Up-res or something.
Another one.
Like the frames per second, people are complaining like it's only like 30 frames per second, whereas nowadays games are at minimum 60, right? Yeah. So it looks slower. It's clunkier looking, but it was a game like I wouldn't have stuck with it if I wasn't like reading about it as I'm playing it, because you need to. There's no way you can play this game and just understand how it works.
So John finished the game. I did not, and not for me liking it, and him, or not for me not liking it, but it was just a lot of work. And most of my actual moving through was because John had gone through and done it, and he's like, all right, I'll come join your game and help you along. And I don't know how I would have ever done it without help, to be perfectly honest with you.
It was a grind.
Yeah.
And I'm not...
I didn't like the idea that I needed to look it up and do research on how to play the game. I'll say that if John hadn't done the work in getting to know how to play the game, I probably would have not gone past the first boss, if you will.
Like, and you know, it was so much easier with you than me playing.
Yeah.
Like there was that
fight on the roof.
That king, what the hell's his name? On the roof.
You would know.
I fought him for hours. I could not beat this guy. I finally beat him, and then I played him with Craig. We beat him the first fucking try.
Yeah.
I think it was the first try. I was like, what the hell?
That was a really cool level too. Like where you
and that's a totally optional area.
It's an optional area.
The whole castle is completely optional.
Yeah.
And there's a secret way in order to fucking get there too.
Yeah.
You have to find this item, and you have to go to this spot, and it's like you would not know. And it's a whole big
get in the
area.
carriage. Get in the carriage.
Yeah.
It takes. Yeah.
Exactly. You would not even know about this area if I didn't learn about it before.
And I think a lot of also just to tie on to Days Gone and Bloodborne, a lot of these games I probably wouldn't have played because I wouldn't have bought them, but because PlayStation 5 and PlayStation Plus offered all these games for free.
Yeah. 100%.
Got it and enjoyed it. And I did really enjoy playing Bloodborne. It's just what happened was John finished the game.
Yeah.
And eventually deleted it off his PlayStation.
Well, once you finish the game, you start over, and then the only way you can join another player is if you're in the same area in your game.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to grind to get to where you are again just to play with you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if we're going to do all that again.
So.
Even though I'm all leveled up now,
Yeah.
I could, but it's fun. It's fun.
Cool. Lou probably has something to talk about on this one, but it was weird. During the pandemic, I worked from home a lot. There were definitely a lot of times where I was in the basement not wanting to work. So I had time to kill, and I thought, hey, I've got all my old systems down here. What can I play? And this is a game that I started playing when Lou and I were roommates, and my save file broke, and so I couldn't progress further, and I was like, no, done. But Fallout 3.
Did you finish it?
I finished it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I picked it up, played it on the Xbox, the old Xbox 360. I booted her up, played it on there. So I played 2 Fallouts now. I played Fallout 4, Fallout 3. I will say Fallout 3 I thought was, if you take into context the time and everything like that, was the better of the two.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 got a little weird with, like slavery and anti-slavery and like trying to bring history back into it a little bit too much. I did like Boston for the setting more than much, but it was a great game. Like most Fallout, so I found it really, if you get a piece of armor that works for you, one thing about Fallout 4 I liked more was I felt like I had to use power armor more often.
Yeah.
Fallout 3 I didn't. I was able to use like a kind of a range armor that was light, gave me good protection, but I could carry more stuff and didn't need to worry about power cells.
To me, it's always the goofy stuff that makes those games for me. Like, there's always the main story, which, as far as I've seen, is always like you're trying to find your dad.
Yeah.
Like the first one, he escapes the vault before you do. The second one, you were frozen and your mom gets killed.
Weren't the first Fallouts like not even first 2 weren't even first person?
No, they were
something?
like top down and looking overhead.
Yeah.
But I always like the goofy stuff, like wandering off and you find some ghouls or something that's got, I don't know, like a gun that shoots a vibrator.
Well,
like
Fallout 4, the pirate ship.
The pirate ship.
The robots that had taken over the pirate ship and were
Or Megaton, you get to decide if you want to blow up the whole city.
Yeah, I know.
There's an unexploded nuke in the middle of town.
I didn't blow it up either of this playthroughs. I kind of wish I had. But
I saved and went back and blew it up.
Yeah. But it was a really good game. I mean, Fallout games are great for volume.
Would you play Vegas now? New Vegas?
If pandemic happened again, better not. And I was sitting to play like an old style game and replay it, and like.
I know it's a decisive one. People.
Well,
love it
Lou's
more.
favorite, right?
It's all right. I don't feel strongly either way about it.
I know a lot of people love it more, people hate it more.
Yeah.
It's a very.
I mean, I think I like it. It seems like a similar one. But to answer your question of would I play it, I'd have to be in a scenario where I've got way too much of a backlog.
If they did like an upgraded version of it, like a
if they say they released it as a new game, then sure.
I would just rather they make a new game.
Yeah. To be fair, given a choice, I would do that. But
I probably
it
would never
would
play
be a
another
new
Fallout
game,
after 4 because I maybe got halfway.
Did you even finish 4? Yeah.
No, and then I just got tired of it.
4, I remember I stayed for like the I went to the like midnight release for it at Best Buy, and I picked it up and I started playing some of it that night and everything. But
I wish I liked it. It's all
it's
on me.
To be honest, though, most people didn't like 4 as much.
It's just like that style of game. It's the RPG-ness of it.
Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna pick one. Talk about one that I know you guys haven't played, but Owlboy. It's a little like pixelated game. It's really like kind of Legend of Zelda-y.
Side-scrolling, or is it like?
It's side-scrolling, yeah. It's like platforming and whatever.
Okay.
And you're a mute kid, which is kind of cool because it gives you a reason not to talk. Like Legend of Zelda, Link doesn't say anything usually.
All the old school games, yeah.
Yeah, because you're the character, and as a player, you can't just sit there talking to your controller and do things. But you're like a mute kid, and you got like some owl abilities. You can glide a little bit and
turn your head.
You have dash attack.
Curves the way around your head.
But yeah, it's just like the old school adventure kind of game, and I really liked it. And it's kind of sad in a lot of ways because your kid's picked on because he can't talk and he's weaker and whatever. And in the end, it's kind of almost a happy yet sad ending. Without spoiling anything, happy sad for him. And it's just like, I wonder if there could be a sequel because I really wanted more for him. But yeah, like he's a sad kid, doesn't really have many friends. Yeah, you play it. It's like a great story, like a lot of lore when you go through the world. It's like, what the fuck happened here? They're really interesting stuff.
I've never even heard of it, to be honest.
I've only ever heard him mention it.
If you're into the old school type games like that.
We'll have to watch a trailer for it, maybe.
It plays like Ori. If you
okay.
that, yeah.
Ori, I love
Never
Ori.
played Ori.
That's how I
but
describe
yeah,
it, except
yeah.
pixel, like 2D
I should play the
pixel.
second Ori. I love the first one.
I think I have the second one too, and I haven't got around to it.
So I'm gonna go with a much shorter, like a super short game. What Remains of Edith Finch. It's a game. It came out maybe 15, maybe 16, something like that. It came
I
out
don't
a few
think
years
I've ever
ago.
even heard you talk about
But
this.
I know. I have never mentioned it. It's a very short game. It was free one time on the PlayStation Plus, which is like a lot of these games we played. And it's basically you're walking around and you're learning a story of this family and how a lot of them just died like in this house. So you go into a room and you learn about this person and what their story was, and then you play a bit of gameplay that kind of pertains to their life, and then you find out how they died, and then you go to another room and you learn about their life.
Well,
and find out how they
that's
died.
kind of cool.
It's
to be
super
honest,
cool.
yeah.
I honestly think you would dig it. Like,
yeah.
It's like 3 hours max. Really, it's a really short game. If you want to run through it, you can probably do it in an hour. But it's just the way like you can play as a cat at one point.
Yeah.
And then you like transform into like a falling whale or a shark, I think it is. So you're a shark and you're tumbling down a hill, and then you're like a monster at some point with like a tentacle.
I'm just gonna say, for a 3-hour game, I mean, I basically know the game now.
It's very versatile what happens in this game, and like you're in a bathtub at one point too. You're playing with like rubber duckies and shit like that. It's really creative. It's super creative. Great story, and I almost teared up with this game. It'll hit you right in the feels. But it's it was surprisingly good. This game I'd never heard of. I got it for free. Tried it on a whim, and I was like, holy shit, this thing has got some real heart to it. It's got some impact. I would suggest anybody try it.
Sounds like
I would suggest
really
anybody
cool.
try it.
Well, the one that we can all talk about, because I know we all played it, Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You know, it was the first PS5 game that I played. That's another thing that happened over pandemic was we all got our new consoles.
Yeah. True, we didn't have them before.
I remember, just a quick story, but John and I got like a text message from Best Buy because I was on a wait list. Hey, they're available, and I think it was a mistake if I remember it correctly. They weren't supposed to get
There was just a reason that day, yeah.
So I got my order in first, texted John right away.
A bunch of retailers jumped the gun, and they just do like the day after.
I was like, get yours in.
So
I
like,
told Luke, too,
I'll
but
do
Luke's like,
Walmart.
I'm waiting for the special edition.
Yeah, it never really came.
Yeah.
But but Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I'll say this right off the hop. It was good, but I didn't feel the same way about it as I did the first Spider-Man, because it didn't feel like a new game. It just felt like expansion pack. A really big expansion pack, but an expansion pack nonetheless.
Yeah.
I'll say I thought it was.
And I didn't like all like the electrical powers.
I thought this game was tighter in the sense that you didn't have any of those like little walking missions that you did with Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Or when you were Mary or Miles Morales.
You had the ones where you're his.
And you didn't have as many
the
puzzles.
sneaking around as.
But you didn't have all those like little puzzles and stuff too that you had to do as much. So I appreciated that. I thought there was too much of it.
I like Doc Ock. I thought anyways.
I wish it was a little bit longer, yeah, because it is. But it also wasn't sold as a full-fledged.
No, it wasn't.
So I appreciated the changes that they made. I thought they stepped it up. That's what I thought.
Yeah, and it kind of like stands out, like you were saying, electrical powers. I think they removed, like, you used to have like a special meter that you could like use your suit's power, but I think they removed that so that you could have like your electrical gauge. And you could like do like a charge.
Venom
power.
Your Venom punch.
Yeah. Your Venom punch instead. Right? They did get rid of the.
I can't remember back.
It's been so long, but yeah.
2018 was the first one.
I remember like when I was playing, I was like, what was different? Like I couldn't do this before, and I think it was like the super moves. Like those were changed out, so it did feel like they changed something in it. It wasn't just exactly more the same. That they did do some cosmetic change or some technical changes. Just not a whole lot.
Was it in this? Did they have it in the first Spider-Man? If you remember, where there was the one costume where you put it on, it turned it into like a cartoon world, if you will, or was that?
Yeah.
In,
The first one was like a comic. I think.
Comic, and the second one was kind of like.
The second one was like the animated movie.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
it was kind of also like, not just the look, but also.
the frames per second.
It seemed
was
like
slower
it dropped frames or whatever. Yeah.
It was, and it worked perfectly the way.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still nothing more fun than just web slinging, jumping off things, and getting going. But I
think maybe it suffers because it doesn't have as many villains. You had.
Yeah, they tried to do more of his villains, I guess, with the Prowler, and the Tinkerer.
With what a twist! Who could have saw that coming?
But then there's just Super Rhino instead.
Yeah,
there's another one.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the first one definitely had way more villains.
Which I think is really important for Spider-Man because he's got some of the best villains out there.
These fights, I thought the fights were really well done though.
I just felt like everyone that we've seen as Spider-Man, like this new gang was so better that they pushed all the demons out. They pushed everyone else out of the way. Like all those guys who had trouble with the Spider-Man now were nothing for Miles.
I think it was a missed opportunity. You had Into the Spider-Verse be such a huge success. Why wasn't Spider-Pig in there? You know, why wasn't...
Not a missed opportunity.
What's Nick Cage's... what's
Noir, Spider-Man Noir.
Like, honestly, really, if you really think about it,
do that.
the opportunity to have Spider-Pig and Spider-Man Noir.
You had the Noir armor in the...
They already had Shattered Dimensions, which was sort of like that, where you played as 4 different Spider-Mans in that game. And that was actually...
I'm just waiting for the Venom version of that game.
Well, it's coming, the Spider-Man 2. Did you see that?
Spider-Man 2.
That looks like maybe it's 2-player, too. It might be.
Oh, I did beat Venom.
I mean Spider-Man and Miles Morales.
It really should be 3-player, though, if you think about it.
I don't know if it's going to be 2-player. It's just rumors, okay? It's all rumors.
Promise.
I just want to see Wolverine, that game.
Oh, give us some more of that.
So keep on the Marvel theme. I think we all played it. I know
I don't
definitely
think you did.
I don't think I did. Well, but I don't know what you're
Guardians?
talking about.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I didn't play it, no.
Should.
That game, I mean, it's maybe not from a gameplay technical kind of way. That like you do the same thing over and over at one point. I would say about halfway through you've seen everything. But like the story wise, it's just great
story, yeah.
And even though they have a totally different version of these characters, they feel like the movie. Like you feel like they're still bleeding through.
I liked a lot of these characters in this game better than the movie counterparts.
Yeah.
Like the Drax in this game is my favorite version of Drax, and I love Drax. Actually, he's my favorite character in this
don't get
game.
me wrong. I do want to play. It did seem interesting.
I love
it. Was not a game that I'm like, I need to have this.
And Mantis. I love Mantis.
I need to spend
Mantis is definitely
$80.
Totally different.
$80 right when it comes out. Like I knew that this would be a game that I'm sure is going to be on sale for $20 sometime soon, and then I can get just.
I'm sure it will be, and it's really great.
I don't think Nebula's in this one though, right?
I don't remember seeing her. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanos is in it.
And they only what the hell's his name? They only teased a few other characters. Like I think Ronan, who wasn't actually in it, was it?
They talk about him, but
Yeah,
no, I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, and
The Collector's in it.
Collector. Yeah. What the hell's his name? The blue dude with the mohawk.
Oh, Yondu.
Yondu. He wasn't in it.
Which makes sense.
They talk to him. Talk about him.
Exactly. He was talking.
He's in prison.
If they do a sequel, they could totally bring in all these other characters that we know from the movies as well. But no, it's a great game. It doesn't like do much gameplay wise to like revamp anything.
Yeah,
but it's good.
But yeah, they feel like they still have the same heart as the characters in the movie.
Yeah.
Troy Baker plays.
I don't know if he
Star-Lord, doesn't he?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think I recognize any of the actors.
Oh, okay. You know, I think part of the reason I didn't jump on it as much or as quick was remember Marvel. What was the?
I didn't get it until it was on sale.
No, was it the Avengers game? But what was it called?
Marvel's Avengers.
It wasn't, which we tried playing.
That trial, and we weren't a fan of it.
Not a fan of it.
It was not like that at all.
Yeah,
this is way better than that.
Also, the music.
Oh yeah,
fantastic!
Great music,
which is good for me. I mean,
great music, yeah,
and the visuals too. Like
sometimes every planet is so different.
Stop.
I think it kind of surprises me when we think about this. About how many games we actually played in the last just 2 years.
Oh man, I'm not gonna touch my. I'm probably not gonna get through on my list here.
Oh, and just to say, Ghost of Tsushima also.
Pictures. Oh, 100%. Tons of time.
I just not to get too much of this, but one we all played recently. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shredder's Revenge. Yeah. Just booked ourselves down for a night, started playing it.
That's another game you can get through in like under 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I want to play the game again. I want to play it again and again and again. I played it with my nephews the other day. They were loving it, and I mean my niece and everybody has their own character they want to play as.
It just shows you how from my opinion, when games started when we were kids, how they jumped up, and that was a great leap there. To like the Super Nintendo level of things was a huge jump in the gaming systems.
It's a great game, and
16 bits.
Especially when you remember like the old games and you remember the old cartoons.
The characters, like for me when we were playing it, the news guy, Vernon. Totally forgot about Vernon, or his boss. April.
One last one for you, because
he jumped on me there, so.
Oh, I did. I apologize.
Don't worry, that's okay. That was on my list, so there I don't have to say it anymore. I'll say one I know you guys haven't played, but it actually took a lot of hours for me to finish this game, but I really enjoyed it. Returnal. It's a PS5 game. It's probably the first exclusive PS5 game that I got, other than I guess the Astrobot game.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that one, but whatever.
But Returnal. was the gameplay was just so fantastic. Man, it came from a company, Housemarque, and they did all these arcade-style shooters. So it's always like you and like a ship, like dodging bullets and like shooting stuff like that. They turned that into like a 3D game style.
You can definitely see the influence.
Totally. And it plays great. And the theme of the game is kind of like Alien. You're on this planet, and you're dying constantly, and you're coming back to life, and you're finding versions of yourself, your dead bodies and stuff, and you're trying to piece things together. The story itself is pretty ambiguous. You don't really understand what happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I looked at the story and I've read like a breakdown of it. I'm like, I still don't understand what the fuck you're talking about.
Even when you finish the game, you're like, so was it this? Did that happen? But I'm just saying the gameplay itself is just beautiful. I love playing it. Even when I die, like I don't like roguelikes so much because you gotta start from the beginning and you start with nothing. You're like, fuck, again. This game, I would die, like, okay, I know where I'm going, I'm gonna fucking book it to here. I mean, and it always change, every level is changing. But I'm like, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna grab a gun, I'm gonna try and book it to this part of the level. And I was always amped to get back into it. Sometimes I'd be like ready to cry because I put an hour and a half into it and I'd be like, back to the beginning you go, oh, fuck.
But I think the shitty thing about it that they've recently kind of patched was like the saving. Like you couldn't stop in the middle of run or something.
Yeah,
like
that was something where like if I'm in a run and I put my game on rest mode and my system decides to do an update that night, I lose all my save data where I was and I gotta start from the beginning. So.
I know it's been fixed since then, but
they have fixed that. They have given you an option to like save where you were. But yeah, that Returnal was a game I didn't really even have my eye on that much, but I heard good things about it, so I bought it on a whim because I need a PS5 game that's exclusive to PS5.
Yeah.
Bought it and loved it. It was fun, and now it's got multiplayer too. They got a multiplayer.
I know we're getting long on time here, but I just thought of two that I want to just mention quickly. And I think we've all played one of them, but maybe not you. Control.
I played that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it for free too.
Got it for free.
I didn't get it for free.
But I gotta say, what a unique game! Like very creative.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the part where the heavy metal music plays is easily my favorite part.
Oh, as everybody.
But like
the maze there.
Just the ways you can play the game and throwing and it was really cool how interactive the entire environment was.
Well, it's like
I felt like there was more lore I wanted to read into it, but I also was getting. It was
very
Stranger Things vibe, if you will.
It's like Stranger Things, Twin Peaks, X-Files, all that blend in.
Yeah, totally.
Well, good. And then I just a side note because I know neither of you played this one. Animal Crossing came out. New Horizons. That was a FOMO game buy for me. Everybody was playing it that I watch on YouTube and Twitch and such, and so I bought it. And I actually really didn't mind it. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And introduced my wife to it, and it became her game. Sorry, ladies, I'm married, but
taken.
But anyways, that was the game.
Oh yeah, I was gonna briefly say Astrobot's Playroom.
Astrobot's Playroom.
Yeah, that one comes with the PS5. Play it.
I still think it's the best as far as showing what the PS5 could do as far as
your controller, especially.
Yeah. I mean, it was totally designed around the controller.
Yeah, absolutely, that's what's great about it. And the fact that it goes all back to like the original PlayStation and all the nostalgia of all the different PlayStation brands are thrown in there.
It's an easy one to try.
All the games they throw in there, all the systems.
It's definitely something for fans of Sony. If you like the PlayStation brand, play that.
Did you play Bugsnax?
No.
I played a little bit. Never finished it, but yeah.
It's okay.
It's free.
Well, I was going to say, I don't want to get too much. I played some Nintendo stuff. Mario and Rabbids Battle Kingdom.
Yeah.
I finally got around to playing Breath of the Wild, but that was a little bit...
Did you like it?
Like, it's not bad, but it's a little bit disappointing.
I didn't was as huge of a fan as ever. It was definitely overhyped. It was
overhyped.
It was my third favorite of Zeldas I played. So.
And I was going to say, I know CountryBoy's gotten into Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah. I'm probably about halfway through the game. I'm about 6 months into it, but I've still only got about halfway through the game. I just don't have the time.
I saw you playing something else the other day.
I love it.
You got the time.
If I'm playing with you guys,
we've all been playing Team Rocket.
Finish your thing and then I got a question for all of us.
Go first.
Well,
no. Mine's just ending the show.
Oh, well, I just want to say, what is everybody playing right? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say don't have to talk about it. Play if you like two-player game. It Takes Two. Yeah. Play it. Great game.
I do want to play that.
Yeah.
John got it for me. I still can't get mine. Maybe I'm not taking. No, I'm taking.
And I'm playing Horizon. That's
what's everybody playing right now? That's
Horizon Forbidden West, right here.
I'm still Greedfall.
And I just started Cyberpunk, and hopefully it won't I got the PS5 version, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
But as we were saying, going a little bit long on time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we've been playing.
We've got about 2 years worth of stuff to talk about.
Let us know down in the comments what you guys have been playing, and give us a like if you enjoyed this video. Where can they find you at?
They can find me, be it 2020, 2021, 2022 on Twitch, Twitter, PSN as MussKeg.
I'm the LewisLightning on Twitch.
I'm CountryBoy_9 on Twitch, Twitter, PSN, and YouTube now.
And we'll see you online somewhere.
That was like
That'll get tested.
half sneeze, half cough.
Or in the hospital, we'll see you.
What's the shirt I'm wearing, Lewis? Yeah?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh.
That was my birthday gift.
Ooh. Way to show me up.